Hey everyone, just coming on here to finish my whole Maddie and Jarryl and Spilling the Tea with Sharon V video. This is part 2. Part 1 will be linked in the description. Anyhow, moving on to Sharon. Spilling the Tea with Sharon V is also an addict. She has gone to rehab now twice on her channel. The first time, I forget exactly what the excuse for leaving rehab was. She went to detox and she didn't complete rehab, and I forget why. However, this time around, it was because she dislocated her shoulder. There's a lot of people in the community, including ex-addicts, that supported her for a while. However, she's starting to show her true colors more lately. A lot of people, including myself, have said that there's no difference between Maddie and Sharon, which there's not as far as being physically dependent on substances go. However, there are two different types of addicts. One has many years of experience. One is better at bullshitting than the other one is. For example, Sharon puts a lot of effort into causing distractions away from what she is doing. To be totally fair, especially to ex-addicts that have supported her, or addicts in recovery, I should say, that have supported her, sometimes when you're out of the game for a long time, you kind of forget some things. And with her, she makes it a little harder. Like, you have to really read between the lines to see what she's really about. I think maybe it was easier for me to see through her bullshit, and Maddie's bullshit for that matter, being that I was never friends with either one of them. Where Maddie's stumbling over her lies all the time and outing her own self out daily, Sharon, it's a little harder. Like, you can catch her in lies if you're paying attention. The first lie I'm going to talk about is the first time she went to rehab. She ran a GoFundMe. She raised, I think, $1,000. I'm not positive on that amount. Don't quote me on that. And then when she was going into rehab this time, right before she walked into the center, she said this.
Thank you all. I'm just so emotional from all the love and support I have. Like I said last time when I came, I had nobody. I had no cigarettes. I had no money. It was really depressing. And this time I feel like it's completely different. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful.
Sometimes I hear people saying, like, oh, she was really crying, not just about this incident right here, but certain times Maddie has cried or Sharon has cried. Any person that has been in active addiction before can tell you how easily you can cry. Because your life sucks. Everything about your life is sad and depressing. It's not that hard to cry. And in this moment, I think that Sharon was grateful and was scared of, getting sick and feeling horrible and facing sobriety and going into detox, and got emotional and accidentally kind of let the cat out of the bag about spending all that money that she was supposed to have lined up for rehab before. By the way, credit goes to Cray Cray Debbie for finding that one. Another lie that Sharon was caught in that I saw on Cray Cray Debbie's channel was her being able to pop her joints in and out of place. The reason for her leaving rehab this most recent time in November 2021 was because she supposedly popped her shoulder out of place.
But hold on, that's not all. Okay, watch my arms. It's probably gonna grow. This is gonna gross some people out, but my arms are I'm double jointed. So okay, and then got me out of jail many times. Pop my shoulder out and they tell me put my hands behind my back. And that's how my shoulder popped out. But
this is just my opinion. I think that Sharon might have really injured herself, but I do think she popped her shoulder out of place on purpose, because I honestly am not sure if she intended on staying in rehab at all. I think she got carried away on her platform, and said, because she had been planning to go to rehab since she left the last time in May, right? And got really caught up in bashing Maddie and Maddie's addiction, that, she's going to show everybody that she's better, and she kept saying things like, Maddie gives drug addicts a bad name, and I'm just like, oh my God. For about a month before she went to rehab this last time in November, she was playing Maddie's streams in her live streams, and providing commentary and, pretty much bashing the shit out of her, saying things like I said, like, oh, she gives drug addicts a bad name. Basically saying, like, don't enable her, enable me. Basically saying, and, you know, give me money. I'm a way better drug addict. There's one more clip I want to show you. Last night on Babbling with Bobbles, Bobbles pointed out a screenshot of how Sharon on, like, her nightstand or on the table in front of her in one of her live streams had a cigarette filter, like, chopped up into pieces, or one little piece off of the cigarette filter, right? And I guess in other live streams, when she was talking about her addiction, that her favorite cottons to use when shooting up was the filter of a cigarette. I really didn't think much of it. I didn't think it was much of a find, even if she had said that before in prior live streams. However, Sharon's reaction to that this morning told me all I needed to know.
To my peeps, my haters, lovers, no, right. I'm gonna leave that one alone for now. Just a quick update. I am on my little lunch hour from my outpatient group through the anyhow. I just want to say a couple things, man. So much people running their mouth in the middle of the night. The first thing I just want to say is to Bobbles. You stupid. You don't know shit. Just like always, jump into conclusions. I used to smoke shorts, and now I smoke 100s, and I always clip a little bit of my filter off. That has nothing to do. I'm still doing that every time I smoke a cigarette. I've always done that. Anybody knows me. Everyone knows I do that. You can ask Herb. You can ask Rich. That is how I do my cigarettes. Always. So I don't need your stupid fucking theories.
So after seeing her reaction, I took about 15 minutes out of my day and went through some of her live streams, fast forwarding to find her smoking cigarettes, and yeah, I got about 3 screenshots and none of them were clipped. Funny thing is, too, is Sharon and I both smoke Pall Mall Red 100s. So just looking at it, I can tell it's not clipped. It's a full filter. One more thing I wanted to address before wrapping this up. Okay, Angie Reacts is a channel that has done reactions to Maddie's live streams and used to support Sharon, but is no longer supporting Sharon. And I'm really proud of Angie for being vocal about that, because Angie is a recovering addict, and it was frustrating for me to see her support her. So anyhow, Angie had made some comments about Sharon losing some subscribers, and Sharon had said things about Angie losing subscribers. Well, I took a trip on over to Socialblade, and here are the results. It appears that Angie didn't lose any subs. In fact, she gained 30 when Sharon left rehab, and Sharon has lost 70 since leaving rehab. Anyhow, there's one more thing. Sorry, I wanted to share one more thing, and it's really petty, but it really annoyed me when I saw it. Worn once very gently my ass, bitch. With all those creases. Come on now. Just, you don't gotta lie. Really, you don't have to lie. As of tonight, I'm, getting my video edits together and getting ready to export this. I see that Sharon has put out more quote-unquote parodies about a mother and her 8-year-old. Yes, making fun of an 8-year-old. Let's not try to candy coat that. And once again, bringing up how she clips the ends off her cigarette butts. Looking hella suspect. That's all I got to say. Now she's starting a charity for a family in need. I don't know if it's someone who's local to her in her city or someone on the internet, but keep your eyes open is all I'm saying. And that goes for anybody starting a charity. Keep your eyes open and be careful who you donate to. This is going to come across as really mean, and I'm okay with that. I remember a couple months back, Maddie and Jarryl had done a live stream and they had titled it Jealous. And they were trying to think of an acronym for the word jealous and what each letter stands for. I came up with an acronym within less than 5 minutes. It wasn't that hard for me to do. And when I see these people call people jealous, it makes me cringe. Nobody's jealous of an active heroin addict. I promise you that. And what makes it even worse is to see Tom from Chosen One encouraging that and saying that people are jealous of Maddie and telling her that. Why would he say something like that? No one's jealous. Why would anybody be jealous? Every dime they get goes to dope. People lose everything to this. I mean, there's really nothing to be jealous about. And if they're talking about other creators and subscribers on YouTube or other social media platforms, anybody can get online and be a train wreck or say mean things or drag people and bully people, and people will watch. It's the unfortunate truth. It's the dark side of human nature. People like to watch shit shows. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why people watch these two creators. I think that some, it's about morbid curiosity. Some, it's about, like I said, watching a shit show. And others, I think, really do want to see them fail. A lot of them do want to see them do well and do worry about them. And these creators fill some type of void in these people's lives. Like, for example, some of the people that have supported Maddie and said that, you know, they see her as a daughter or whatever. I think that a lot of people in recovery also watch to kind of remind themselves that you don't want to go back to that life. That life is horrible. Anybody that knows my history knows that my choice of words for that acronym were not coming from a place of judgment. No, that's not what it is. What I'm trying to do is get you to realize that using that word and telling people they're jealous for calling you out on your lies and your scamming makes you look ridiculous. No active addict ever got sober from being patted on the ass. Most recovering addicts have a very low tolerance for bullshit. I guess in closing I will say this. Anytime you're making an active addict's life easier by giving them food or shelter or a jacket or boots to be in the snow, you're making their life easier and you're giving them less to worry about. Therefore, they can worry about getting dope and spending that last dollar on dope. I hope that all three of these people find recovery, because I wouldn't wish active addiction on my worst enemy. But as long as you're there to catch them when they fall, they're not going to find their bottom and they're going to continue to use, and that's just a fact. At the end of the day, it's their business what they do in their free time. However, when they get on a public platform and start asking for donations for, you know, X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z turns out to be lies, that's when people are going to start talking about it. So to get on your platform and be like, mind your business. If you don't like me, don't watch. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to leave you with this. Don't believe everything you hear. Demand proof. And be careful who you donate to. Hope you guys liked the video. Love y'all.